They sent me my medical card, but then they didn't tell me who my provider was. So I had to stay on the phone about an hour and a half to find out who my provider is, where I can make an appointment for my provider. And that was tough. They led me around to different states, to different providers, and some said, no, we don't have you. You're not with us, you're not with us. And I'm telling them, I have my card right here. I'm giving you my number, but nobody knows who my provider is.
The one good thing that the prison does is that they do set him up with the state insurance, but we had to find him a doctor that would accept the Apple insurance, what the state provided. We had to find a mental health counselor that, again, accepted that insurance. I'm retired, so I was able to provide some of the rides, as well as other team members were able to.
I mean, just think how hard it is to navigate the health system in America if you're not coming out of prison and starting from scratch, how hard it is to deal with insurance and providers and different agencies and signing releases. It's really hard in this country. And so that's why we have this one role where one person can kind of hold insurance, all right, primary care, calendar for initial evaluations is one of the first things when folks get out of prison. Yes, they'll probably have state insurance, but finding a primary care doctor that takes their insurance. So we'll want someone on that team that is somewhat comfortable navigating those systems. But the two, after setting up a primary care, make sure you get a physical, but the more urgent than a general physical or primary care, oftentimes when folks get out, is parole. CCOs, community corrections officers, DOC, can oftentimes require chemical dependency or drug addiction treatment, and that needs an evaluation. So you got to go find and help them set up their evaluation date. Just that step of calling the place, setting up an evaluation, putting it on the calendar, and getting to the evaluation, that takes work. And secondly, sometimes they recommend a mental health evaluation. Now, if your person on their Stones and Layers form said, I have some mental health needs, and you're talking about that with them, be clear if they're on any meds, this is the ball in your court. The first 30 days when they get out, probably not day one, but in their first 30 days when they get out, making sure you find a mental health care agency, setting up an evaluation, getting that evaluation with the first 30 days so that they can get a prescription to continue some of their meds.
With our friend, he had an additional issue. He had a very serious hand injury that happened way before he went into prison. The prison doctor told him that it's best for him to do the hand surgery after he gets out. To me, that means, it's not a good idea to get something that seriously done when you're in prison. Not only the health, but the mental health, but then we had to navigate and go through and try to get him set up to do the surgery. And then to get an appointment. Of course, this was all during COVID, so that even doubled up everything as far as the hassles go. And making sure that he showed up. Well, if he doesn't show up, it just delays the whole process, especially with his hand issue. And his mental health was really important to keep that going. So if he missed an appointment, even with a good excuse or whatever, you just had to accept it and go forward and make another appointment.
Some of the role of navigating health systems, it might feel like, this wasn't really necessary for the first few months. Life gets complicated. There's maybe a car accident. There's stress from going through. Maybe they're fine for the first few months and things really get hard. Be ready. Maybe a few months, maybe a year down the road, something happens. And if you're the one that say, hey, it's okay. I'm still on your team. I can walk with you. Let's go back and check on the doctor. And so even if everything's really breezy in the first few months, just know that health is a complicated thing that might come up down the road. And it's so good that they have you there with them to figure it out. Even if you don't know the answers, you can figure it out together.